right, the distributive property. So the distributive property is also going to be working with these parentheses. And specifically, it's going to be working with something where we have a number on the outside, and then we have numbers on the inside. So we'll look at this one. 5x plus 4. So 5 parenthesis x plus 4. So the distributive property talks about how we can distribute or share this 5 with the x plus 4 grouping. So in order to distribute, the first thing that we have to do is when we look at the number on the outside, we have to realize that between this 5 and this group, there's an implied multiplication sign there. So whenever we don't see any operation between a number and a group, a multiplication sign is supposed to go inside of there. So once we know that this is representing multiplication, 5 times this group, now we have to break it down, and we have to take this 5 times and share it with both of the numbers that are inside of this grouping. So we're going to do these one at a time. The first one, we share the 5 times with the x. So that's going to give us a 5 times x. The next one we're going to do is share the 5 times with the 4. So that's going to give us a 5 times a 4. But there is a very, very important step. We have a 5 times an x and a 5 times a 4. But what do we do with that plus? Well, we have to hold on to it. So that plus, it comes down and it goes right there in between them. Just like it was between the x and the 4 before. Well, it's still between the x and the 4, but now it's between the 5 times x and the 5 times 4. So you share the 5 times with each separate part, and then you keep whatever sign is between them in between them. If instead of a plus sign, this had been a minus sign up here, we would do the exact same thing. And instead of a plus sign coming down, we would bring a minus sign down here. So whatever sign is in between the numbers in the group, that sign you follow down in between those separate pieces. But we have a plus sign, so let's get back to our plus and let's solve this out. So 5 times x plus 5 times 4. Well, we haven't been told what x is yet. So the only way that we can simplify that 5 times x is by getting rid of the times sign. And this is a simpler way of writing it. So we can write 5 times x just as 5x. Now we can simplify this side. So 5 times 4, well 5 times 4, that is just going to give us 20. At this point, this is as far as we can go with this problem because we don't know what x is. We have a 5x plus 20, and we cannot combine these two. We're going to talk about what like terms are in another video, but for now just know that if we see something with an x, it's not going to be able to combine or add with something that doesn't have an x. So this is as far as we can go with the distributive property. We took that 5 times, we did the 5 times with the x, and we shared the 5 times with the 4. So distributive property, you can think about it as sharing. It's where you share what's on the outside with what's on the inside of the group. And here, 5x plus 20 should have been our final answer.